and welcome back to my channel. My name is Trisha and today on the Aspiring Home Cook, I'm going to show you how I make my Rajma Masala. A Rajma Masala is basically an Indian curried kidney beans recipe and it goes really well with a basic steamed rice or even some chapatis or rotis if you've got those on hand. Now while this is packed full of flavor, you'll be surprised at how easy it is to put together. Now before we head on to the recipe, if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel, and once you do, click on that little bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Alright, so let's go on over to the kitchen and get started with our Rajma for today. Now over here, I've got a cup of dried Rajma or kidney beans that I've soaked overnight and then boiled till they've turned tender. I have reserved the water that this Rajma was boiled in and I'm going to use it in my final dish. If you're choosing to use canned kidney beans, obviously you omit this step and just proceed with the rest of the recipe. Start by heating a large pan over some medium heat. Add a couple of tablespoons of cooking oil. Now this Rajma Masala tastes really nice if there's a little extra oil to start off the cooking process, but you can definitely choose to cut down the quantity of oil if you'd like. Go in with a few whole spices. I've got 5 cloves, 1 large cardamom, black cardamom, 3 green cardamoms, about 8 to 10 peppercorns, and 2 sticks of cinnamon. You're going to let those flavors infuse in that oil for a few seconds. And once those spices turn nice and fragrant, go in with about 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. You're going to let those cumin seeds sizzle for a little bit and start crackling, but be watchful and don't let them burn. Give all the spices a good stir and move them around in that oil. And once that cumin has sizzled off a little bit, go in with 1 large onion that's been finely chopped. Now you're going to saute these onions on a medium heat till they've softened and become a little translucent. Then at that stage, you're going to add your ginger garlic paste. I've added half a teaspoon of ginger paste and about 1 teaspoon of garlic paste. If you've only got a mixed ginger garlic paste available, just use 1 teaspoon of that and you will be fine. Stir everything well and let that ginger garlic paste fry off a little. I let this cook for about a minute or two until that raw smell from the ginger and the garlic goes away. Now by this stage you will notice that your onions have started to develop a little color around the edges like you see here. Everything has softened and fried off really well. At this point you can add your spices. I'm starting with 1/3 teaspoon of turmeric powder. If your turmeric powder is mild, you can add half a teaspoon as well. Now I'm going in with 1.5 teaspoon of red chili powder because I'm not adding any additional chilies to this dish. You can of course adjust this to suit your spice preferences. Kashmiri chili powder is a fairly mild powder, so it doesn't add immense amounts of heat to the dish. And I'm also going to add in about a teaspoon of garam masala at this point. Give everything a good stir, and as soon as you see that your spices have fried off just a tiny bit like this, you're now going to deglaze your pan to get what we call a bhuna masala. I'm adding some of the liquid from my boiled Rajma or kidney beans. If you're using canned kidney beans, you can just go in with a couple of tablespoons of water over here. But adding the reserved liquid from the boiled kidney beans adds a lot of flavor to the dish as well. I'm going in with about 2 lots of around 1 to 2 tablespoons of that liquid. This not only deglazes the pan, but it will prevent the spices from burning while they fry off and develop a beautiful flavor. Now at this point we're ready to add our tomatoes. I'm using about a cup's worth of tomato puree. You can also use whole tomatoes, cut them into large chunks, put them in a blender and blitz them to get them to a fine puree stage and then add it in. Now the amount of tomato that you use here will really depend on how acidic your tomatoes are. This puree that I'm using is a local passata and is not overly acidic, so I've gone ahead and added about a cup's worth. You can adjust this to suit what you've got on hand. Stir everything through and you're going to let this tomato puree cook off for a couple of minutes. After that, you will see that your curry paste has cooked off really well, everything has fried off, and this curry base has started releasing a little bit of oil on the sides of the pan. That's when you know you're ready to proceed to the next step. You're going to add the water that those kidney beans or rajma was originally cooked in and add enough to get this gravy to a slightly thinner consistency. This gravy will thicken up as it cooks. If you don't have enough stock from cooking your kidney beans, just add water to supplement the reserved liquids from the pan. If you're using canned kidney beans, just proceed and use plain water. Now at this point, I'm going to add a little bit of sugar to the curry. This is not to sweeten it up, but it's to help balance out the acidity from the tomatoes and balance the overall flavor of your curry. Stir everything around, bring this to a boil, and you're going to let it simmer for about 4 to 5 minutes. Once your curry base has cooked off, you're now going to add your kidney beans or rajma. Now we like a rajma masala with a lot of beans and not as much gravy. But if you'd like more gravy than beans, you can actually hold back some of the beans and add them to a salad at a later time. Once you've added the kidney beans, stir everything around, and if you find that there's not enough gravy in there, just go in and add a little more water to the pot so that you get a consistency that you're happy with. Bring the pot to a boil, then turn your heat down to a simmer, place a lid on, and you're going to let this cook for another 5 minutes or so. Cooking it low and slow develops a lot of flavor in your curry. And once that's done, give everything a good stir, check for seasoning, and adjust if needed. Stir everything through and make sure that you're happy with the consistency of your curry. If you'd like it a little thicker, cook it without the lid on till it thickens up, because at this stage your curry is ready. Your kidney beans should be nice and soft and tender. If that needs a little more cooking, cook it off at this stage. Once you're happy with everything, add half a teaspoon of garam masala at this point. This just livens that entire curry and enhances the flavor. And right at the end, I'm going to add a little bit of fresh coriander, leaves and stalks, finely chopped, and turn the heat off. You're now ready to serve your curry. I'm just going to give everything a good stir and plate up. And just before you can serve up your rajma curry or rajma masala, top it off with a little more fresh coriander, and your rajma masala is ready to serve. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's recipe. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with family and friends that you think might enjoy it too. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to see you really soon with another delicious recipe. So till then, take care. Bye.